absolutely scintillating races this week, as we always do here at MRC. But tonight we're back with the X crew. Custom liveries where creativity comes into play. 2 championships to still be there to be won. Oh, ignore the stuttering already. But, yeah. So we've got obviously the elite class, tier 1 and tier 2 drivers. The challenger class, which is tier 3 and tier 4. We have got 11 elites tonight. We've got 9 challengers. So still everything to play for. It's a very sunny Brazil at the minute as well, which is not exactly what I want to see. Might have to have a word with the host of the session there, because he is joining me. It's Mr. T-Side Ted, Mr. the voice of MRC, I guess you could call him. He's the OG in the comms team. He's the one that's been around for a long time. Not calling him old or anything. But how are you, Mark?
I'm good. I'm really good. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to join you finally. Back again.
It's been a while. Like T-Side Ted back with listening to the Quantum Cry all the time.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, it's I mean, it's great to be back. Like this is like a new experience for me. Like I haven't been here in ages, have I? But,
yeah, exactly. No, it's good to have you back, mate. Honestly, it really is, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that will echo that sentiment as well. So yeah, it's good to have you back with us and then back in the box.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry now in emotion for the kind words that you just shared. But no, I'm excited to be back. This is my little stomping ground, as we all know. This is where I've been spending most of my time in MRC, to be honest, on comms. This is kind of where I made my name, I guess you could say. Like this is where I became elite comm, I guess. You know, so
yeah, it was actually. Yeah, it was.
This is what I love. But tonight we've got the 100% race, which is going to be a massive challenge. We've seen this track throw up so many challenges over the seasons in MRC, but I think on this game it's even more of a challenge. The cars have to be set up on a knife edge around here. Many corners, slow speed, some high speed. It's just a very, very technical track, but I think we can all agree it's an amazing track as well. I think you'd agree, Mark, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. You've got those very fast first and last sectors, where obviously top speed and straight line speed is very important, and then you've got the that tight and tricky middle sector. That's I think I mentioned it in tier 4. The way I describe it is kind of point and squirt. Is the short between the two, and yeah, I think it's one of everybody's favourite tracks. And it is one that everybody loves to be at and everyone loves to race, and I think it's one of the ones that most people go to straight away to do their time trials and when you learn the new game.
Yeah, I think it's one of those I think you'll find it very difficult to find anyone that doesn't like this track. I love it personally. I was gutted that I couldn't race it this week, but you made it. Oh, is everything alright there, Mark?
Yeah, just had a driver coming through. So
I heard some banging. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it was a bit bumpy than I thought it was going to be out there.
I thought there was a rage coming from you then. I was like, oh no, what's going on here? But good banker lap there from Kanitra, may I say. 108.6.
Yeah, very good lap.
Wow, that's a challenger tier. Boofy, who actually won the tier 3 race on track, is currently about 8/10 off him, so that's his battle. Chris Bailey's currently the leader, but he's the only one to set a lap in the elite tier at the minute. Well, and G-Star. But we've got a lot of people. But don't forget, guys, next week as well we have Portugal, which will be Abu Dhabi. Oh no, Abu Dhabi do. Mark will be disappointed if I don't call it that. We have Abu Dhabi do next week, which will be the return of the sprint race feature here in the MRC. In the F1 cars, you'll have a sprint race. It'll be set to the actual authentic mode that we have in this game, which we obviously didn't have in the last game, so we can actually trial this out and see how it goes. And then obviously after that we go to Portugal, which is where we use the Champions of Champions format, where it will be in reverse championship order, and it will also be a 50% race, and there will be no qualifying. So it's going to be more challenging than ever to win a title in MRC-X this season. You've got to be prepared from all angles. But in the meantime, Simba's into P9. He's just gone up there. Kaiser Soze into P6. He's gone with a very Mark Hodgson inspired bright blind Connor livery. That's what he's gone for.
I like it.
I bet you do. I'm seeing a lot of black tonight. That is what I'm seeing a lot of. Lorpy's gone for a nice little... Oh, Mark into P3. Kept that one quiet into 30. Oh, that's a very nice livery.
Thank you.
I actually really like it.
I've run it before, actually, and I was looking through the ones I've got and looking through everything else, and I thought, actually, that is one of my favourite ones. It is very reflective, though, on the halo.
Yeah, it is.
Which is a little bit annoying.
Yeah. No, it's a very nice livery. I mean, I don't know if I can race X again, because I got absolutely slandered by Bailey saying I was driving a Mercedes. So I don't know if I can.
Went for like kind of old school McLaren look, and with my standard touch of yellow that I seem to run a lot.
You love that yellow, don't you? It's your favourite colour.
I don't know
sure
why. I'm not sure. It's not like a favourite colour of mine that I normally go for. I just do in MRC. I like the brightness. I don't know why. I've obviously got new helmet as well tonight. New design for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise I don't know why I do it. I honestly don't.
Yeah. Martin just said, why is Bailey in a Toyota? That's a bit harsh. I think it's meant to be Senna's McLaren. But
it is.
I expect an angry Bailey later today. I'll say no more than that. But who else have we got on track? I will come to the liveries at some point. Obviously, we've got so much happening in this qualifying session. Kid Dynamite in P15. That is not something I ever thought I'd say.
Yeah, but he likes a Laster first, so I wouldn't worry.
He does, and he usually does it in X just to wind me up. Martin's just got onto track. He's in a, like, I think he said it's a retro Ferrari livery, which is actually stunning as well. Green rear wing as well. It's sort of like signalling Italy as well. It looks kind of more like an Alfa Romeo. No, I won't say that. Martin will kill me. He hates the Alfa Romeo. I mean, it's definitely
very vintage Ferrari. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
it's very smart.
It is very nice.
Yeah, I do like that.
Saviour's gone from for the Haas test livery, as Carl called it. He didn't want it to be called. He's in garage at the minute. He can't see Saviour's right now. Mark's just called. Simba's just called me a lady. Well, cheers. What else is going on here? Geke, what's he? He's out on that, but he's on 3 lap old tyres. He's backed out. Scottish Ninja. He's someone who's returned, I believe, if I'm not wrong, isn't he?
Yes, he has. I think he has. He's quite a few people who obviously leave for different reasons, and then it's great when they do come back. It shows the league that we've got and the quality we've got, and people love to be here, and it's absolutely fantastic.
It's always great to see people return, especially people that, like, you know, obviously had full-time seats, couldn't participate for personal reasons or work or, you know, you name it, and then the fact they come back, just, you know, it sort of makes you feel even better, the fact that they've decided they want to come back here. So yeah, it's great to see. RFC Danny's done a good lap. He's in P11, so at the minute on pole for the Challenger tier. Konnichiwa Beach is on overall pole at the moment. That's crazy, considering he's Challenger tier. Baldy as well in P5 overall. That's second. Like, this Challenger tier, I think one thing I'm learning about X is I think the gap, the spread between the tiers now is probably a lot closer than it's ever been.
Yeah, and this is something that was mentioned by our very own Mr. Hills on TNT 4 when he had the guest appearance and joined me on Wednesday night, and that's exactly what he said. You know, you used to be able to kind of know or have an idea of who was strong in each tier, and it would be almost a 4-horse, 5-horse race usually. And nowadays that doesn't exist. There's a lot of the tier 3 drivers who will reserve in tier 2 and tier 1, for example, and really give them a good go, and, you know, they'll be up there top 5, 6. And it's the spread of the tiers doesn't really exist now, and it is fantastic to see of how much drivers are pushing themselves and how much drivers are are competing against each other and wanting to improve and are improving as well. And that's exactly why we're here. That's why we have the tier system, for that reason.
Yeah, exactly that. I also think it's like, you know, if you look at across the tiers as well, I think tier 3 have had 3 different winners this season. I think tier 2 have had 3 different winners, and the only one that hasn't is tier 1. I think kids 1, 2, if I'm not mistaken. The man to correct me will be Simba or Mandy, that I'm sure they'll both be about in the YouTube chat. But it just shows, like, the fact that we've got a mixture of all these different winners in each tier shows that we're in for absolutely enthralling championships this season, especially across 16 races as well. So I think it's the biggest season we've had in MRC. I could be wrong there, but it's definitely the biggest since I've been here.
Yeah,
so.
it's our longest season we've ever had, and it's going to push a few people to the limits and beyond, and that's exactly one of the reasons it's looking to be a very good season.
Yeah, it definitely is. Lorpy's just gone into elite tier pole. Boofy's just put it 3rd overall with a 108.8. These times are starting to slash. Mark is on a lap as well. You're marginally up in the first sector. Let's just quickly catch that second sector time when you come across that line in a second. So, round that sweeping right-hander is very easy to be caught out. Oh, that car got out of the way a little bit late, but I don't know how much time it got. I missed the second sector because I was watching that. But
half a second up currently.
Well, this is going to be some lap. Oh, G-Star with a 108.5. Wow. What a lap. Chris Bailey's just gone second as well with a 108.5. What's Mark going to do? Into P3. 108.6 is so close. Just ahead of Konnichiwa as well. So
0.089 off this G-Star.
Yeah, that is
ridiculously
close between the top 4. That is crazy. Now let's go and have a look at a man that's been stupidly quick this season, and you'll know a lot about him, Mr. Call Me the Brave.
Yes.
He's been insanely quick this season, so I think he's championship leader, is he not, in tier 2 at the minute? So
possibly, yeah. I think he's ahead of me by 9 points. I'm 9 points ahead of, I'm not sure who's in 3rd actually.
I'm not sure what Kid's do. I don't know whether Kid is actually here, but he's done 7 laps on a set of softs.
Unless he's doing, he was talking to me earlier, or briefly mentioned to me he was doing a kind of a race practice. You know, he did a lap on 100% fuel. Oh, who was that? That's Brave that's gone round.
Oh, Brave has just gone round. I'm going to go off and see that. Oh, that's very late though, isn't it? Very
yeah, it was
late.
A bit. He's lost that rear, and to end up on the inside, that's a very late point to lose the rear, but he's done well to kind of keep it there.
Yeah, he definitely has. I'm just going to go on board with Neil, who we know also has some unbelievable pace when he's really hooked up. He's just coming to the end of the second sector. He's about a 10th up in the first sector. Oh, he's not coming to the end. I'm so lost with this track. I will get to grips eventually. But he is coming slowly. Oh, that car gets out of the way. I think that's Kaiser Soze even. 3.5 tenths up is Neil, so let's see what he can do in his final sector. This, obviously, he's battling in the challenger tier, so he wants to be aiming for Konnichiwa / Boofy. His time at the minute, he's going to need to find a bit. He's coming to pits, he's bailed, so that's changed that. Let's have a look at a man who I think's making his debut. Dorian, I don't know what to call it. I'm going to call him Doris. That's what I'm going to call him. I was
going to say Dory.
Oh, Doris has just spun.
Dora the Explorer has explored the track limits and beyond.
Yeah, Dora the Explorer, that has to be it.
Yeah.
Gav would be proud right now. So
he is.
He's probably on his plane to, I think it's Cape Town, chuckling at your nickname for him there. But he is. It's good to see him debut as well. I mean, this is the place for reserves to get weekly action as well.
Yeah, exactly that, and that's where their participation brings it into getting the chance of the full-time seat.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you something. I'm quite shocked. We've got 20 viewers at the minute for MRC-X, which is unheard of.
Everyone who's watching, please share the link on your social medias. Don't forget to like the videos as well, and the streams. That would be absolutely fantastic. Helps promote the league and the brand, and it helps us push on out there. So if you could, anybody, it only takes a second to do. Please do that. That would be absolutely superb. We appreciate it, and all your continued support that you have for us.
And get anyone in your household watching as well. And active in the YouTube chat. Why have we got 20?
Ooh, sorry, Danny's lost it out of 4 into 5 and lost, well, half a car.
Whoa, Konnichiwa! 108.4. Wow.
The track.
That is unbelievable pace from Konnichiwa. The tier 3 guy. So at the minute, he's on provisional pole. Obviously, Chris is the man I'm going to go watch. He's, I think he's just starting a lap now. He is. So let's go on board with Chris. He's coming into turn 1, so he's very, very tight. We've seen Chris's pace this week as well. I think he was so close to a podium in tier 1, I believe. But let's see. He takes 3 very, very well. Very tight and a lot of confidence. His car looks very strong. A 10th up in the first sector. So at the minute, Chris is looking like he could be on for... Oh, he's had a bit of a twitch on the exit of 4.
But he's a purple first sector by my looking at as well.
That was a purple first sector. He's very, very strong through that sector. I believe he's running slightly lower wings. So I think he suffers a bit more in the middle sector. But he's looked very planted this lap through the middle sector. He's continued on. How is he going to hook it? I don't even know the corner numbers. I'm so lost at this point. I think that's 8.
That's 10. That's 10. This is 11.
11 is the one that can catch it. Call me the brave out, but he's actually down on his time. He's lost time in the middle sector, but what can Chris do in the last sector? Can he make up enough? He only needs to find about a 10.5. So what can Chris do?
I think he's bailed on this one. He's bailed.
He has. That's going to be it for Chris's qualifying, I think. He's still got 50% battery. He's okay. He obviously thinks he can go again. Let's go and have. I don't think
he'll have the time to go again.
So are you happy with your time as well here? Because I've noticed you're still
I'm deciding to do a strategic choice of not going out again. Just based on the fact that it is a 100% race, there is so much that can happen. So it's one that I've decided. You know what? That'll do. If I drop down a couple, so be it. That's kind of my looking at for that one. That's what I was thinking of for this.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you at all. I'm trying to catch someone who's actually on a lap or a reasonable way around. Let's go and have a look at Carl. He is a former, obviously, Challenger tier champion, so it's good to still see him going. He's got his sort of like opposite Williams livery kind of thing. Like, it's just a Williams livery with different colours kind of thing, but it is very nice. I will come to livery of the day later. We will also have driver of the day as well, like we always do. I will ask for Mark's driver of the day at the end of the... Obviously, you can't see yourself, Mark, even if you do go last to first.
Spoiler alert.
I was prepared for it. And you can't say yourself for livery either.
Okay. Actually, there was 1 or 2 I've already seen that I quite like, and I'm going to have to find them if I can.
I've just seen Wumax's livery. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a proper... Brazil has a carnival atmosphere, and Wumax has definitely taken hold of that by the reins.
He has. That's all I can say is that is simply stunning. And so perfect for where we are. I've just realised Sage is also doing a last to first.
Yeah.
Let's see,
I do like Martin's Ferrari livery. I do like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm trying to see them while I can, and I'm going to have to make a call early, because obviously there was somebody else I saw, and for the life of me I can't remember who it was. It's going to bug me a little bit.
The thing is, that's the issue. You haven't seen them all, because now you're going to be racing as well. Just tell me when you're side by side with someone.
I did try early on. I mean, for me, I do like Wumax's just because it is the carnival atmosphere, but I'm also a fan of Martin's at the moment, I must admit.
So should we... I'll give you time to ponder, and then I'm sure we may see that safety car thing that we see every now and then. So when we see that, I'll let you make a final...
I quite like Boothies.
Boothies. Let's go and see Boothies. Yeah, Boothies is very good. He posted... I think he says a Retro Lotus, I think he said.
It's good to give me that... it's the JPS vibes.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. No, there are a lot of stunners, but here's the grid. Konnichiwa takes overall pole for the Challenger tier. G-Star takes elite tier pole. Chris Bailey starts in P3, Mark P4. Law P in P5, Wumax P6. Boothie in P7, Single Track in P8. Simba P9. Carl in P10, Call Me the Brave in P11. Baldy in P7, P12. Kaiser Soze P13, Danny P14, Geke P15, Neil in P16, Scottish Ninja P17, Dora the Explorer in P18, Kid Dynamite P19, and Xavier in P20. They are both looking to do last two firsts.
Yeah, so watch out for them at the start in the opening 4 or 5 laps. They're going to be incredible.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, being as I haven't got a COCOM and you are racing, I'm going to make my own prediction. I think the winner of this race is gonna be G-Star. That's who I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say you because otherwise it looks like, oh yeah, it's generic. You're gonna say Mark. He's on comms with you, you know. Although I do think it's gonna be you, but it's gonna be G-Star. So yeah, we will see. Let's hope there's no glitches like there was in one of the tiers this week. I think it was tier 3, but I think we should be all good. We don't want to see any safety cars before the race starts, do we?
No, we certainly don't. That was a very interesting one, that one.
That was. I think we've seen it in one other race. For some reason, I kind of remember it happening before.
I'm going to say Baku, but I don't know.
I think it was Singapore this season, last season it happened.
Could be.
For some reason, that rings a bell. But it'll be interesting. I'm interested here because it's 100% race to see what everyone starts on. This is going to be... I think we're going to see a real mix because obviously the softs work... Please tell me this formation. Oh my god, I thought that wasn't a formation back then. I panicked. I was like, woo! But... So, let's quickly have a look at the tyres. So, the race... The pole sitter, Konnichiwa, is on soft tyres. G-Star's on mediums. Chris is on mediums. Mark's gone for his hards. He went for on tier 2 and it worked very, very well. Lorpy mediums. Wumax hards. Oh, Wumax has spun! Wow. That was a weird one. Boofy, single track Simba, all on mediums. Carl's gone for softs. That could work very well early on, but he has to make the places up. That's a risky strategy to make. Come with the Wraith, mediums. Baldy's gone for softs, and I mean, we've got a fairly good mix for the rest down. Kid Dynamite's gone for hards in P19. I was quite surprised though, Mark, by your pace on the hards so early in that race in Tier 2 on Monday.
Yeah, don't worry, so was I.
No, I just didn't think it's not because of you, but I think it more just surprised me how well the hards actually worked.
Yeah, they did feel very, very nice, and all the way through, and even when they were, you know, at the end of the stint that I did extend, the gap to people behind on like fresh tyres was still kind of increasing and hovering, so it wasn't one that they were falling off a cliff. They just got a bit slidey for me, and I thought, you know what, let's go on to the other tyres.
Yeah.
So it was one that I probably could have done another lap or two.
Yeah.
I think from when I was setting up strategy this time out, it's going to be an interesting one of who decides to do a 2-stop, who decides to go for a 1-stop, because both seem to be possible.
Yeah, I think they are, but the grid is now lining up. Don't forget, guys, YouTube chat, let me know who your favourite livery is, and then come the end, also let me know your driver of the day, because it is only me, so your vote may be counted as well. So, make sure you all let me know what's going on. But the last car is just pulling into his grid slot, and then we will be underway, even though I can't see the lights, which is not helpful at all.
Yeah, I think you have to go on board.
Right, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and for the 100% race, we are underway. What a start from Konnichiwa, but that's the soft tyres kicking in. But I think G-Star's been bogged down a little bit. Here comes Chris, but Chris is also now being overtaken by Mark up the inside, but they are sort of... Mark's got through, he's into P3. Chris has been very, very cautious early on there. Everyone seems to have made it through very, very cleanly at the minute though, so that is... Oh, crash in the background. Someone's lost their wing. I think it's Martin. Carl's out. What's happened to Carl? Safety car, virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car.
So Carl's gone on the pit exit.
Oh no, full safety car. Sorry, it was virtual and it's
Yeah,
gone
so it's changed.
to a full safety car.
Yeah, so basically what I saw there was a massive twitch on the exit of turn 3 for someone, and then Martin was involved, I believe. Yeah, he was, because he's got no front wing, and I'm wondering if the other one was Saviour. No, it must have been Carl, because it was a white car. So I think Carl and Martin have come together. Martin's got no wing, but Martin will be counting his blessings a little bit that there is a safety car, because it means he will catch to the back of the pack, and obviously there's still so long to go in this race. But that was some getaway from Konnichiwa. Obviously he's on the soft, so his start was always going to be better, but I mean, considering you was on hard, your start to get past Bailey there was very good.
Yeah, and Chris is one of the ones I'm always happy to go side by side with into any corner. He's one of the most aware. He's got the aware drivers that we have. He's very, very good for that. It was one that I was catching G-Star if the run to turn 1 was a bit longer, but it was just, I'm never going to send a move when he was on the inside. It's just not the smart thing to do. So
yeah, exactly.
But you're right, Konnichiwa start on those softs was a great start.
Yeah, it was. We've got loads of drivers in for wing changes. Martin, Danny, Kaiser Soze, Call Me the Brave serving his 5 seconds as well, which is probably very bright to do under the safety car. Then you've got Neil as well and Scottish Ninja. So a lot of drivers on lap 1 picked up some damage. I think it was all in the aftermath of that Carl, and it looked like it was Carl and Martin. Martin definitely was involved in some way because he's got no front wing. But, I mean, let's have a look at the highest gainers here from the start. So, obviously, Mark's up 1, Bailey's down 1. But Saviour's up 8 already. Kid Dynamite's up 6 already. Geke's up 5. He's made it brilliant. But I tell you something, Dora the Explorer up 7.
Wow.
So, what a debut it is from him at the, well, him, her, yeah.
I think it is a him.
Well, while I call her Dora, you're being a she, okay? So, but, I mean, while I'm here, let's have just for YouTube chat, let's have a scroll through the liveries and see what people think of them. So, Konnichiwa is running a black and gold, but he's run that because he's obviously the reigning tier 4 champion. G-Star, has G-Star changed his? Oh, he has, that's very nice, red and gold. Ooh, I like that. Mark has got his, I think we've seen his on stream, that is like silver with touch of yellow and splodges of black on it. Very, very nice. Chris is what Martin called a Toyota, but it is actually meant to be a commemorative Senna livery. Lorpe's looks like a retro Sauber, is what his looks like. Do you remember like the old white and grey Sauber, Mark?
Oh yeah, briefly.
Yeah, that is kind of like what Lorpe's looks like. Wumax has gone for his Brazilian Samba. Woo, that's what I'm going to call it. It looks like a cocktail on a car. Boofy.
It looks like definitely a carnival on a car.
Yeah, yeah, it's literally, I think what both of us have said there is both of them put together. Then we've got Boofy's, which is a retro. It looks actually, Boofy's is actually stunning. Oh, 5 seconds for Neil. Collision with Call Me the Brave. But Call Me the Brave is in 19th and Neil's in 15th. Well, that makes sense. But, okay. Simba's gone for yellow, red, blue. Oh, that's really nice, actually. I like Simba's livery. Baldy, he always comes out with a good livery. Mr. E17. His is actually why have you all got good liveries? How am I meant to pick between these? Then you've got Geke, black, red. Anyway, safety cars in. I will come back to these. We're going to get a restart. Who's just posted in the YouTube chat? Who put... Oh, what happened, Calvin? I'm not actually sure who you're talking about there, to be honest.
Probably at the start. What happened at the start?
Oh, okay. But let's have a look at Konnichiwa. So Konnichiwa, obviously, when is Konnichiwa going to go? Obviously, oh, he's gone really early. Konnichiwa's gone very early, and he has caught G-Star napping. The issue for Mark is he can't go past, which has now hindered Mark. But Mark's now going to have a look around the outside, maybe. But here comes Chris. Chris is having a look up the inside, and Chris has made it, but he's made contact with the rear of G-Star, which is, I don't know if that's given him damage. I think he's just about got away with it, but that was very opportunistic. But Mark got really caught out there by the fact that G-Star was so slow on the restart.
Yeah, I tried my usual tactic. Once the leader went up going, and I went a bit too early. It did tell me to get back. So
Yeah.
then lost momentum to Chris, and yeah, that's just me being overly keen, I think.
Yeah, Dora the Explorer and Geke side by side into turn 5. What a move that was around the outside from Dora the Explorer. Wow, he's putting on a clinic here on his debut. That was beautiful. Now, let's see what's going on. Mark's now under a bit of pressure from Lorpy, but Lorpy is just there waiting in the wings. Wimax showed great pace in Tier 2 this week as well. He's into P6 at the minute. Boofy, the man who won on track in Tier 3, he's also keeping pace with these guys, so he's there sniffing around at the minute. Simba's there as well, obviously the reigning Challenger Tier champion. Also now, and Tier 3 champion, I better not forget about that, even though it was me who took it off, but still. Kanichu, our fastest lap. Kanichu's done very well here. He's got a 2-second gap. Those softs are really, really working at this stage of the race. So let's continue on to see how people... Let's not go to starts. That's not a good idea. Let's see. So what are these battles looking like? The thing is, there's a little train forming. Chris is having a look at G-Star into P2, but I think Chris just about backs out of it. The space was given from G-Star, so good driving from both, but these two are... Their mediums are working quite well. Mark seems to be dropping off a little bit with his hards, but his hards do come in as the race goes on, and he will find them much, much more effective. Now, let's continue on and see the battles. There's a big, big train now forming behind G-Star. G-Star's really holding up the pack a little bit here. And it's just letting Kanichwa enjoy himself out in the lead on those soft tyres, but his soft tyres will go off a lot quicker than everybody else's. So let's continue on. I'll tell you something, Dora the Explorer is now right up the chuff of Baldy. So that could be one to definitely watch out for. I believe we've seen in practice as well, Dora the Explorer is no slouch. Like, the pace been shown by... I'm gonna go with Doris actually, because it just rolled off the tongue better. But Doris showed some great pace in his time trials that we saw when he joined the league, so definitely going to be one to watch out for moving forward in MRC, that is for sure. But Lorpy is right on the rear of Mark. Mark's dropped off the rest of them. Those hards are not up to temperature yet and not working the way Mark would want them to. But here comes Lorpy. He is really attached to that rear end, and I'm not sure Mark's enjoying it one little bit.
Not at all. I'm not. No, I don't know if I'm now running a bit more downforce than these guys. So I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Car feels okay. Just, yeah, I think the hards. I think with just the fuel load, it's getting to that. Is the issue at the moment. But you know, it's not the worst. It's not too bad at the moment. I think it's just trying to not let those two ahead, especially get out. Well, I'll just get out with my DRS, to be fair, unfortunately. But just not get too far in the distance.
Well, I think the good news for you is Lorpy has just had a little bit of a moment, so he's dropped off the back of you, at least temporarily, and Wimax has also dropped the back. I don't know if everyone's trying to sort of tyre save at this phase a little bit, because the gaps are starting to form. But here comes Simba. He's having a little look at Boofy, but he's not quite close enough, because obviously Boofy is still getting the DRS from Wimax, so that's showing good pace. Who is that round in the first sector? I think it might be the Gecko. I think it was the Gecko. It was the Gecko. So that is not ideal for him on those soft tyres as well. So he will be very disappointed with that. That is for sure. Scottish Ninja's the first man to get a time penalty for track limits. So he is got 3 seconds. That's not going to help him. He hopefully needs to just avoid the track limits at all costs at this point. But Saviour, he's a man... He hasn't made too many places up since the restart. Saviour's just sort of biding his time, but no risk needs to be taken. But let's have a little look at this, because Doris is right on the chuff of Baldy, and here comes Saviour as well. He's having a little look on those medium tyres. I'm wondering if Baldy's softs might already be going off. But here comes Doris. Is he going to make a move? He is. He's up the inside into turn 1. Oh, there's space given, but there is wheel-to-wheel contact. But Baldy defends the position very, very well, actually. So let's continue on the run, round turn 3. Doris is going to have the much better run. Baldy goes defensive to the inside. Surely this is going to push Doris to the outside. Saviour's also there having a little look, but Doris goes round the outside into turn 4. But they just about, again, brilliant defending from E17. But here comes Saviour into turn 5, but he's not quite close enough. So there's some good little action going on here. Lorpy's now caught back up to Mark as well, which is now the gap of 4/10. Simba's also right on the rear of Wumax. Wumax is coming under pressure. Simba's also got past Boofy, which I missed as well. And Baldy is now approaching that little battle too, but those softs are definitely working well for Konnichiwa, but they don't seem to be working so well for Baldy down in P9. Oh, something's happened to Doris. He's gone round. Oh, that's such a shame. He was having such a great race. That really is not ideal for him, but, you know, there's still a long way to go. Keep your head down. Saviour's coming. He's having a look at Baldy. He's up the inside. And he's through. He's into P9 already. That will be, I think, P7 for the elite tier. So, Saviour's coming. Don't panic, everyone. Well, actually, probably do panic, but yeah, because, you know, everyone knows he is a elite tier and tier 1 champion for a reason. But Mark has still got Lorpy attached to that rear.
Yeah, I made a few mistakes on that last lap. It was very, very scrappy, and that's virtual safety car for some reason.
Doris, I think it's Doris who's gone round, and he's had another moment, I believe. It looked like his, yeah, it was him. I'm pretty certain of that. So, oh, his tyres are absolutely shot. They are. Oh, Scottish Ninja's got a drive through as well for speeding under VSC. It's so easily done. But oh, Doris, honestly, Doris, I'd come in the pits now, mate, and just, well, or at least use this period to get those tyres back to temperature. It's such a shame when that happens. I think Mark knows as well, like, once those tyres overheat, they are terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. You really then start to struggle to get them back into that window. They've just used too much life, and yeah, they just don't feel good no matter what you do. It's very, very difficult.
Yep, it definitely is. But now's a good time to run through the grid. So at the minute, Konnichiwa still leads by 3.4 seconds. G-Star obviously leads for the elite tier as well. Chris has sort of fallen back a little bit from G-Star, but I don't know if that's... Danny's out! Whoa! What's happened to Danny? Is that in the pit lane?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it is in the pit lane. Okay. Right. Scottish Ninja's now in the pits as well. I'm presuming there's a massive glitch going on in the pit lane. I think Scottish Ninja just tried to serve his drive-through, but obviously you can't serve that under safety car. But there was a car parked in the middle of the pit lane that made him stop, so it's lost him even more time. So there's some sort of glitch happening there, which is a bit unfortunate. But we are back racing in other news. Not that anyone cares about that. But but Boothie there's a great little battle here for... Wait, Simba's got past Wumax as well, which I've missed. Simba's not going to be far long till he's on the back of this Lorpy Mark battle. That is for sure, but Boothie, Wumax, Saviour, I think even Martin's joining the action now as well. He's on soft tyres. He's coming back through the field. Kid, oh, Martin's just had a big moment into 3. I think those softs might already be going. Here comes Kid as well. He's now on the back of Martin. Kid's also gone for a very Keizer Soze type livery. I think they actually might be. Where is Keizer Soze? Am I blind? I can't see Keizer Soze. Oh, there he is. Are they the same? Okay, no. Kid has green. Keizer Soze has turquoise. But Kid, Martin, that's going to be a good battle to watch. Boofy's also practically pushing Wumax through the middle sector, which is never going to be fun. And then you've just got the Tesla. That white livery of Saviour is just a sight to behold. It's just all white, and then you've just got black tyres on it, which just makes it look incredible. But
yeah, that sounds quite cool. Not gonna lie, that does sound cool.
Yeah, it's just completely white, like totally. There's no other colour on it. But let's continue. Oh, here comes Saviour. He's going to be having a look at Boofy, but Boofy's also got DRS. That's going to be the issue. How much? Boofy's saving his DRS well, but Boofy's having a little look at Wumax. He's not quite close enough, but Boofy is going to have that DRS on the run down to turn 4. So, but Boofy's got to defend at the same time as attack. We know how relentless Saviour is, but look at Saviour's exit out of 3. He's going to be able to be side by side with Boofy running down to turn 4. He's got the inside. Boofy's going to be on the outside, but he's got the move done. Boofy sensibly backs out of that one. Very good driving from both. Great car control there as well. But Mark, you've still got that little pest on your back.
I do. Chris, I saw, had the DRS and has passed G-Star.
Yeah. Doris has just gone in the pit lane as well. He's just retired in the pits. There's still so far to go. That's the issue.
Yeah, there is.
Like, you've got retire from the session. Where's Scottish Ninja gone? That's on track. So that is a safety car. So he's obviously had a moment somewhere. That is, I think, on the exit of 10. Yeah, it is on the exit of 10. So it's a very easy place because that's a very heavy traction zone. Wait, I've just realised Kenichiwa's in the pit, so the race leader's pitted to get off those softs, which is probably a very sensible move. What time's he gone for? Gone for mediums. I thought maybe he'd go for hards and try a one-stop to the end, but it still probably is a bit too early to do 60 laps on a set of hards.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go that long. They might do 50.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will do that distance.
Yeah, Martin's just put on a set of mediums as well. Kid stays out. Baldy is also pit for mediums. So I think most of the soft runners are all coming in for mediums here. So it's definitely again another good field spread.
The prime stop I think was a 2-stopper. To be honest,
I'm not surprised.
And I think the soft tyres were about this time, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, that safety car for the soft guys has really, really helped them out. So, that's more than ideal for them. The ones that are going to suffer, ironically, at this point are probably the hard tyre runners. Like yourself, like Kid as well. But the thing is, I think starting on the hards, even if there is an early safety car, it's not as much of a loss as it would be in a 50% race, because obviously you've still got an entire... Chris has spun under the safety car. He's taken out the... Chris is going to be kicking himself. Oh, that was strange. Obviously, you had a good view of that.
It was quite a tame one, for want of a better terminology.
It almost looked like a drift. That's what it looked like, in my opinion. But yeah, that I mean, again, it's another very easy place to lose traction, isn't it? So,
quiet note of who has found himself in 5th.
Yeah, Saviour. And do you know where the other man that started last is? He's in P7. So
lovely.
So I mean, do you know what the other sad thing for you is? Like, you've got Simba and Lorpy between you and Saviour. How long is it going to be before you're fighting Saviour?
Not long. To be honest with you, from what I know, I know Simba is also quite quick round. He is very fast. So, and Martin and Single Tractor, I know they are very, very quick. So, if this is turning into a couple of battles I didn't want to have.
I think this is going to turn into that thing called a sweat fest, where we're going to see so many, like, because honestly, there's no drivers here. Like, I wouldn't want to sit here right now and say this person's going to win, because you've got so many people on all different kinds of strategies. If we see 2 or 3 more safety cars in this race, God forbid that we don't, but if we do, it's going to mix the field up crazy amounts. Is everything okay?
I think I have wing damage.
Oh no, have you got into the back of...
Did slow down from that, and I was,
Oh, well, just... hopefully it's not too bad then, but let's see when G-Star is going to go. Is he going to go at the same point? He is roughly the same point as where Kenichiwa went. Mark has obviously kept with him very, very well. Lorpy's still right there as well. He's been a thorn in Mark's side this entire race, but Simba's also now right behind him and caught onto the back. So Simba is in, and now he's a tier 2 driver as well. He's got every reason to fight with Mark, Lorpy, you know, G-Star. He's there. He wants this. And then you've got the man that is Saviour coming from behind, but he is on the medium tyres, and he seems to have had a bit of a tame restart there. Obviously, Boothie is the current leader of the Challenger tier. He's done really well to keep with the guys in the higher tiers at the minute. He showed phenomenal pace on Wednesday, and he's keeping it up here as well. So it's definitely. What about Chris? I think Chris deliberately spun just so he could be with Kid Dynamite. That's what I think he did. And yeah, come on, Chris. But that damage, how was the damage feeling?
Not great turning left in turn 4. Did not feel great. It popped up on my MFD, but it didn't show too much. So I don't know. I'm trying to have a look now. I don't know what it might be in terms of if I'm missing anything. I actually don't know.
Oh, okay.
That didn't go well.
Oh yeah, a bit deeper now. You're under a bit of pressure from Lorpy. I will not make you commentate too much during the race. I will try and leave
I was too busy
alone.
looking at my wing, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, but here comes Lorpy. He is having a look up the inside, but he's not. Oh, he's got slightly better traction. Here he goes into 4, and that is a very, very good move. Good driving from both. Good car control from up there to give more than enough space as well. It's so easy to just sort of turn in on someone there because it is such a... contact! Oh, there's big contact between Mark and Lorpy there. And I think Saviour and Simba were also trying to get in on the action just about. But that is a shame for Lorpy. He's definitely down now in P15. Has that given you more damage,
that was
Mark?
unlucky. That I'll apologise on stream to him. He seemed to break quite early and just completely caught me out.
Is that more damage? Or are you still good to go? I mean, on stream, if it's any benefit to you, you've currently still got a full front wing, but I'm sure it doesn't feel that way.
No, it doesn't really. I'll keep going for now and see what happens.
Here comes Simba. He is now having a look at Mark. Surely he's going to make this move. He's on probably the better tyre at this phase of the race, but now he's going to have the outside for turn 3. But look at who's hovering at Saviour. Simba's now through, but Saviour's also coming. His exit out of 3 is utterly unbelievable. He's also got a run on Simba down to turn 4. He looks up the inside, and he gets it done. Wow, what a move from Saviour. That's incredible. But now Mark's coming back at Simba into the run down to turn 5, but I don't think that's going to be an overtaking spot. It's not. Wow, Saviour. The man's into P2 starting last. What? Why are you doing this to me tonight, of all nights?
Bring you back with a bang.
My voice is going already. But
mine did in tier 1.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised, but that was very opportunistic is the word I'd use there from Saviour. Simba got a bit tail happy out of 3. Managed to get you in the meantime, but I think it was because he was battling you, and then Saviour's just there, collect both in one straight, and that was just utterly insane battling. But now you've got I've just realised Chris has also got past Kid Dynamite. So, but next up for you, Mark, is Chris. So that's going to be...
Yeah, and now the car handles like a boat.
Yeah, that's definitely ruined your strategy somewhat, hasn't it? So,
yeah,
it's going to be... But there's still a long way to go. You've still got over 50 laps to go, so anything can happen. Simba is kept with Saviour very well. He's in P3 at the minute. Kid is really with Chris as well, just like Chris is really with you.
Yeah,
Mark does give a lot of space.
He's going to have me there.
Yeah, and I think Kid's going up the inside. That was so close to contact between the two of you. But
yeah,
Kid's gone round the outside into turn 7. Wow, what a move. But now here he comes, and I think that is the move done. It is.
Yeah, it's not good when you got no grip.
Yeah, I bet it's absolutely horrible. I could see, like, the way you understeered, I think it was into 5, that your car just went very wide. Are you going to probably think about pitting this up?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. It's ruined everything. The whole strategy is completely gone.
Yeah, I think it's just best to regroup in the pits, get a new set of tyres on, get the wing fixed, and come back out. You know, but a safety car can always bring you right back into this, so... But G-Star's gap out the front of the minute, 3.4 seconds. He's a man that loves MRC-X. You know that. He's here every week, and he's always performing at the highest level every week. It's the place to it. he is comfortable. Simba is still right with Xavier. I see what you mean by when you said Simba has a lot of pace.
Yeah.
But Kid is also, him and Chris, that is one of the battles to be keeping an eye on, because they are two of the very elite in this league. So that's going to be a battle definitely to watch. Chris obviously had his moment. He was, I think, leading when he had his moment, wasn't he? Yeah. So Chris is on a bit of a redemption tale right now. Martin as well, who crashed on lap 1, is in P6. He is absolutely flown through the field. That's crazy. But let's see what else is going on. There's a big train formed from Chris all the way down to Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa's lost a lot of places since he pitted as well, so he's also sort of hovering around P13 at the minute. He's lost out a lot. What about Boofy? Did Boofy pit? No, he didn't. So Boofy's also lost a few places, but Kaiser Soze's now ahead of him. So at the minute, Kaiser Soze is the leader for the Challenger tier. He's in P8. He's also, I think, the championship leader for the Challenger tier. So that is definitely something to be proud of, especially with the fact that it's so challenging. Oh, but here comes Call Me the Brave. He's just got up the inside of Kaiser Soze. Call Me the Brave also on a bit of a comeback through the field kind of race. Like, he had a bit of a poor start, lost his front wing on lap 1, but he's now making moves forward, just like Martin is, just like Kid is, just like Chris is, and Xavier as well. Like, this field is really starting to take shape. Neil's also got a penalty. That is far from ideal for Neil. There's a yellow in sector 2 and 3. Who is that? I think it's Konnichiwa. It is. Konnichiwa's had a big moment. He just appeared on my map. Yeah, he's just had a big moment. Oh, he's had another one. He's got at the penultimate corner. That is... Oh, your tyres are just overheated. That's such a shame for the man that was, like, literally leading the entire race. He's really, really struggling now. So... But Xavier's... That gap between Xavier and G-Star is starting to drop. It's... Oh, Kid's got past Chris as well. But Single Track's having a look at Chris. Oh, Single Track's round. There was contact between him and Chris. That is going to be a bit... I didn't see it all, but it looked like Single Track went for a... It looked a bit late, but I think the gap opened up because Chris was fighting with Kid and Single Track went for that gap, and sadly, I don't know if Chris saw him or not, but obviously I haven't seen it all. We may see that one in the stewards, I'm sure, potentially, but that was unlucky because Chris definitely was being a bit mugged there by Kid in some way, but we know how audacious and emphatic Kid Dynamite is with his overtakes. I think you know that as well, Mark.
Yeah, he knows when to send it, and when he does, he's planned it well, and the speed and the grip he's got, he's one of the... I would have to say one of the better overtakers that we've got in the league. He's just absolute. When you know he's there, and he'll give room as well. He's just proved it with me when I had a bad wing. He knows when to go. I think
the best word to describe him would be, in the nicest way, ruthless. That's what he is. I think ruthless is the best.
Yeah.
And I mean,
unfair,
being ruthless has won him. Yeah, well, of course, 100%. But I think it's just won him a championship in Tier 1. He's also a former MRC-X champion. I mean, he's got the resume to prove why he's one of the best, doesn't he, really? So,
yeah, exactly
that is for sure. Wumax is now closing on Bailey. I'm wondering if Bailey's got a bit of damage, because he's definitely starting to struggle. But then Wumax is on much fresher mediums. I didn't realise Wumax pitted under one of the safety cars. So Wumax definitely is a man to watch. Like, he's actually... Wumax is in the net lead of this race, because obviously G-Star, Xavier, Simba, Kid, Chris, they all haven't pitted yet, but there's a good chance also them guys, if they can stretch out enough, could go for the one stop. Kid definitely could, depending on how long he can make those hard laps. I think Kid is sort of like, he's sort of struggling to keep with the back of Simba at the minute, which Simba will be delighted to hear about. He'll watch this back now with a big grin on his face. I know he will. He'll be proud that I've just said that. But I'm just realised Kaiser Soze and Neil are having a bit of a ding-dong. Here comes Neil, who is right behind him. But also you've got Lorpy there as well. Nils looked up the inside into 4. Oh, he does well to back out of that. I thought they were going to come together. Loppy runs a bit wide in turn 4 as well. Martin is in the pits. I think that will be to change his wing up. No, he's just come in on a set of hards, and now he's
fanning.
Now he's come back in for another set of mediums, and he's got more wing damage. Whether it didn't change his wing on the first stop, that could be. But the thing is, he needs to get out because G-Star's... Oh, it's such a shame because G-Star's not far off lapping him, which is not what Martin's going to want to hear. But Xavier is now rapidly catching the rear end of G-Star. He is down to 1.3. Just about 4 laps ago, it was 3.4. So Xavier is a man on a mission. He did start last, and he's already in the fight for the race lead after 24 laps. I mean, Mark, you did call it. Fair play.
Yeah.
But we've got Konnichiwa and Mark having a little battle here with Geke in the action as well, a fellow commentator of ours, Mark. So that'll be one to definitely watch. Oh, that looked very, very twitchy down the straight from both of them. They both went left, right, right, left. I've lost track already.
I kind of just decided to keep out of that one there.
I think it was the safest thing to do because I don't think either of them two knew where they were going either at that point. But it was a very good move either way from Konnichiwa. Very committed as well. So it all worked out in the end. There was no contact, which surprised me if I'm being honest, but they did very, very well. I'll tell you something, I think G-Star's tyres are starting to go off because he keeps twitching. He's having a little twitch. He's struggling to traction out of the corners. So it's definitely going to be one to see. Mark's just got past Geke as well, so...
Yeah, I think he broke himself and had a little bit of contact with Konnichiwa, and I just went on the outside.
Yes, Geke does have end plate damage. That is the issue for Geke, so he's got no left-hand side end plate. So that's not ideal for him, but Kid Dynamite is now catching Simba, and... How long is that going to take? Because Chris is right behind him as well. Chris and Kid, that's been a battle that's been brewing since I think the first safety cut. Well, since Chris had a spin pretty much. That is when it's been brewing since. Neil has now got past Kaiser Soze. Eventually, that's taken him long enough. Boofy's also back ahead of Kaiser Soze, and Boofy's also created a bit of a gap. Boofy's now catching the rear of Call Me the Brave as well, which is definitely going to be one to watch. Call Me the Brave showed, obviously, like I said earlier, some great pace this season. He's on 21 Luffold mediums because he did pit early for the wing damage, which is really hindered him in this race, to be honest. But he's made a good recovery thus far. Martin with the fastest lap. He's just showing the pace he actually does have in that car and showing that he is completely out of position. Geke's now in the pits. That'll be to get his wing damage fixed. But how are your tyres feeling, Mark? Let's go to Seaside Ted.
A little bit slippery for some unknown reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's heated them up early on by accident. So I'm not 100% sure what I've done. But they're not feeling too great. Traction's alright, just turning feels a little bit strange.
Question,
so,
was the weather forecast completely dry? Because it is starting to get a tiny little bit cloudy. I don't know if that's dropping the track temp, which is potentially making your tyres not so great.
I think towards the end of the race, second, third of it, it's going to cloud over. There's no scheduled forecast for rain, though. It is a full dry race.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, when you look on board, it is pretty much blue sky. For some reason, when you're on the helicopter cam, it looks like it's a bit cloudy, but it's definitely not. But Xavier is now in the DRS of G-Star for the race lead. Kid Dynamite is also there. He's actually a lot closer, but he's also got Chris for company. So the issue for Kid is he's attacking Zimba, but at the same time defending. But I think who's got round? I think that's actually someone towards the back. Someone went round, but I don't know who it was because they were ghosted. But it wasn't any of the leaders. Oh, it's Geke. He's been disqualified. Oh, it's a shame for Geke. That's not ideal at all. He's parked it down. I'm guessing it was Geke that must have had a moment then. And because apparently he was part, so that'll be on the pit exit, I believe. Which is why...
Yeah, it's a week to forget, unfortunately. Geke struggled a little bit with in tier 3, I think he's in.
Yeah, he's in tier 3. I think he's been saying to me that the transition over to medium traction he's found a bit difficult. Obviously, he's someone that I've had as a teammate, and he's a very, very good driver. I think just for whatever reason this season so far, it hasn't been clicking, and I think me and you have both had periods in our time in MRC where things just don't click for you for a period of time.
Yeah.
But it always comes back to you.
It is, yeah. You'll start making a slight change to something, and then you just think, why didn't I do that sooner? It's just something that you change, and it could be anything, whether it's slight change of your driving style because you think, well, okay, I'm losing the rear too much. Okay, easier throttle application. Or you'll change your setup slightly to give a bit more stability on the rear, you know, or you find understeer, whatever it might be. And then you'll just do something that will just completely change it, and it's just thinking, why did I not do that before?
I think as well, like, for me in particular, it was just one good result. It changes your mindset completely as well. You go from like almost doubting yourself to believing like, okay, I had good pace in the last race. Let's continue with this. Martin is back in the pits. No, he's not. He's gone back onto the hard. So I don't know what's going on with Martin. I don't know if he had more wing damage, but I think he's ghosted. So I think Martin's actually had internet problems potentially here. Is what I think may have happened. He is now a lap down, so I think that's going to be a race to forget for Martin there, to be honest. But
yeah, we know how quick he is, and he knows how quick he is. So it's a bit unlucky that for Martin. You have to say, I don't know what his problems were, especially if he was coming back through the field after the turn 1 incident that you highlighted.
Yeah, there was another incident he had also with Chris as well, and since then he's pitted 3 times, so he's not had an evening to remember. But I think Martin wouldn't just leave the session, so I think it is internet related. So, but let's have a look. G-Star he's actually been overtaken. I've just realised Xavier is now the leader of this race. Kids also got I've missed so much while we were talking about Geke. But that is, Simba's now under a bit of pressure from Chris. Obviously 2 people to get on very, very well, Simba and Chris. So it's gonna be a friendly battle, but we know that they both love getting their elbows out. So
they were both very, very clean drivers as well.
Oh,
you know, that'll be a very good one, very, very fair.
Oh yeah, 100%. That is one thing you can guarantee. It's always good, like from a commentary point of view as well. When you see a great battle, it makes it so much more exciting, doesn't it?
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, it's like when you had your 3 wide moment with Gav and Simba, and I practically froze.
Why would you bring that up? I nearly had a moment then.
I nearly died. It nearly killed me on comms. I don't know if you remember the radio silence for an entire corner because I didn't know what to say. So
you didn't hear the screams in our party chat.
You was with us. It was. I think you guys were on. One of you was on driver comms.
I don't think we were.
Oh, maybe not. I know Chris was on comms with me that day, so I definitely remember that, but I think we're getting to the point now though where tyres are starting to go off. Lorpy's back in the pits. I think that's Lorpy's. Let's have a look at how many stops people have made actually, because I think that's Lorpy's 2nd stop. Martin's made 5 stops. That's ludicrous. Mark, you've made 1. Knich's made 1. Neil's made 2. And he's in 11th, so that's not bad going from Neil, considering he's made 2 stops already. But if they've made 2 already, you'd almost think they're probably going for a 3 stop here, which is...
Yeah, I think you won't get those mediums to the end, unfortunately, I don't think.
But you'd think a 3 stop would be off the table, wouldn't you? Like, surely that's
there was
really
a possibility
slow.
for, believe it, I think, yeah, 3 stop was one of the possibilities, yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, Neil's made 2 stops, right? But he's on 26 lap old mediums. So
yeah, I should be okay. I don't even know how old my mediums are, to be honest with you.
Your mediums are currently at 11 laps, so they are. Yeah. I mean,
they can go for another 20. I think.
I was going to say I mean, the 2 leaders have done that. 4 of the top 5 have done 30 laps.
Yeah.
So I think you can probably scrape 35 to 40 out. Sorry for the notification, guys. As the terrible commentator I am, I forgot to turn them off. So, yeah, hate me in the YouTube chat, I don't mind. Kaiser Soze. Boofy is also catching Call Me the Brave quite rapidly. Call Me the Brave is also catching Wumax. Call Me the Brave is starting to bring himself back in this race now. Like like I said earlier, we've seen his pace in tier 2. I believe he's also a tier 1 reserve at the start of the season. I think now he's got a permanent seat in tier 2, hasn't he, Mark? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he does, yeah.
I mean, he's definitely earned it, hasn't he? I think there's no arguing that in any.
Without a doubt, and to be fair, he's one of the drivers that I can't remember why he went to tier 3 when he did.
I think when he joined, he was fairly unknown, is what I would say.
His pace has always been up with like tier 2 standard, I would have to say.
Yeah, but I think with the pace he's been showing this season, like, I think you can make a probable case for him to go to tier 1 as well. But
potentially.
I think G-Star's just had a moment. G-Star has had a moment on the exit of turn 5. So the former race. Oh, Kaiser Soze's out. Where's Kaiser Soze? Oh, he's gone on the exit of 3. That's a safety car. Now that changes everything. That brings everyone back into play as well. And it's also going to help the leaders who are on 31 lap old tyres. I mean, Kid will stay out because he's on hards. Oh, Kid's got a penalty as well. I've just picked up on that. He's got 3 seconds. Wow. So it'll be interesting. Is Xavier going to bring himself in? You would think so. He is. Xavier is coming in. Kid, I wouldn't say so. He's on the hards, and if he wants that strategy to work, Kid is coming in. So maybe he's now potentially committing to a 2. I mean, 40 laps. Is that possible media? To be honest, I'm used
Elvis
to
is telling me to pit, and that I could. Apparently, this is my last stop. Apparently.
Okay, so so he's telling you to go on mediums again, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, they've done 32. It's just whether or not it'd be interesting to know from one of the guys that have just done 32 laps on mediums whether or not they feel like they could reach 40 on them. But I mean, majority, like, so the guys that have come in, so Simba's put softs on, so Simba's committed to a 2-stop here without a doubt. There's no way he is physically going to be able to do 40 laps, well, 38 laps on a set of soft tyres. Like that, it's just impossible. G-Star's now on soft as well, so he's committed to a 3-stop. No, 2-stop, because he had the spin that took him out the lead. Boofy's put on hards. He's definitely going to the end, guaranteed. Boofy is. Neil's just stopped. You and Konnichiwa will definitely be going to the end. But I think, from your point of view, I know you're currently. I mean, Martin's last and a lap down, but I mean, out of the guys on the lead lap, you're currently last. But you probably feel a lot more now like you're back in this race with that safety car.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were catching somebody ahead. I can't remember who it was now. Obviously, then Neil's pitted as well and come out ahead of us, who defended well against Konnichiwa. He's got very, very good straight line speed. Yeah, so does Konnichiwa, to be honest. I'm struggling to get past him a little bit. In straight line speed he's got, and the drive out of Young Cow is really, really strong. So it is a blessing.
Yeah.
So it's. And, you know, we've seen already that we went to the tier 3, tier 4 guys, how good they are around here, and this is really bringing them back into the mix as well. If I don't know what the gaps were, I don't know if there were any gaps further up in the field, but if there was, that really, really plays into it, as hopefully they've got, whoever that might be, has got their strategy played absolutely perfectly. And I think Konnichiwa, if he's not used the hards yet, which I don't think he has, he will easily go to the end on those. So look out for Konnichiwa when those hard tyres start coming in.
Yeah, I mean, towards the end, I mean, if there's a late safety car, obviously, I think we're going to see 90% of, well, 100% of people go to the soft tyres. But I think this is definitely going to be an interesting, because Wumax in the lead is the only, 5 seconds for you. What happened?
Yeah, everyone just slammed on the brakes. There's nothing I could do, wing damage, so there's nothing I could do with that.
I'm sure stewards will probably see that then afterwards, just to
see what
it's one
of those. I'm not one to start
Well,
I
no,
don't
no,
put
but
a
I
lot of
mean,
things in, stewards. It was just everyone caught up very, very quickly to the safety car, and it was just then suddenly everyone stopped, and I couldn't
well, I
avoid
mean,
each other.
I'm
Just
sure
a
we
clip,
might
and I've
even
lost the
see,
win.
we might even see other people put it in if that's. I mean, I've just
the
seen you've
safety
got no
car's in.
end plate. Yeah, that is such horrible timing for you. So, just as yeah, but there's every chance of another safety car. So it's about keeping on going. Wumax though, the race leader, the only man that didn't pit under that safety car, and he's gone very early, and he has caught Xavier napping. Here comes Kid Dynamite as well. Obviously, Kid's gonna have more pace. He's on fresh mediums compared to Xavier's fresh hard tyres. So Bailey's also on hards in P4 at the minute. Simba's there, right there. Simba needs to make places if he's going to use those soft tyres to good effect. He needs to really, really be ruthless on his attacking at the start of this race. Call me the brave medium. So it's a fairly spread field. Obviously, no one has DRS 4-2 that from this restart. So it's just about where the field is going to spread quite a lot here. Xavier's under quite a bit of pressure. I think Xavier's probably going to concede to Kid here because Kid is on those brand spanking new medium tyres. So definitely. But why has Gefe said sorry to me in YouTube chat? It's unfortunate, mate. You don't need to apologise. Just, you know, you'll be back in Tier 3. Abu Dhabi is a track that you showed great pace at. I was on comms for Tier 4 when you was, I think you qualified P2 last season, and you looked formidable until that unfortunate crash that you had. So you're definitely a driver to watch out for when you're on form in Tier 3, and that form will come eventually for sure. But Xavier defends the Kid, but Xavier's also sort of attacking Wumax, but he has to be so wary because, like I said earlier, Mr. Ruthless down there in Kid Dynamite is going to be one to make a move. He's looking, Xavier goes defensive to the inside. Kid's going to have a lot more grip, and he looks to the outside of turn 4. That is a stunning repeat and a bit of a twitch on the curb, and here goes Xavier. He's defending his position, but now they're side by side heading down to turn 5. And Xavier seems to have held position. Very, very good defending from Xavier, and Chris is now ready to pounce. Wumax is really struggling on those 23 lap old medium tyres. Massively. Mark, you are in the pits. I'm guessing that's to get your wing fixed, I would presume.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, another safety car can always bring you back into play. You know that better than anyone because you've been here a very long time.
Start of season 2.
Well, see, OG. That's why I called you the voice of MRC, because you've been on comms forever as well. So
season 3, I think I started that.
Season 3, wow. But here goes Kid Dynamite. He's on the outside, heading down to turn 1. Is he going to make the move stick? It means Xavier's going to have the outside for turn 3. But Kid, oh, there's contact between the two of them, and now he's under pressure. Kid Dynamite has been overtaken by Chris and Simba. Wow. Call me the bravest now up the inside of Kid. I'm wondering if Kid has done it. It looked like there was contact, but the camera angle didn't really show it. But either way, Kid must have had a humongous twitch because he's lost 3 places. And that's just really helped Xavier. But now Xavier's going to be under a lot of pressure from Chris. But the difference between Chris and Kid is Kid was on was on a softer compound of tyre than Xavier was. So now it's a fairly fair fight between Chris and Xavier, but Xavier is also right up the chuff of Wumax. And Wumax is on those really sad, stuttering medium tyres, which are 24 laps old. So I think, I don't know if I've missed DRS being enabled, but if Xavier has DRS here, he is going to gobble up Wumax very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's enabled this lap.
Okay, so Xavier's rear wing is open, but Wumax seems to have very, very good straight line speed to be able to defend against Xavier. Chris is also there waiting and waiting. He's got no penalty. Kid does have a penalty, which is probably going to cost him with the way this race is going at the minute. And obviously with Simba right in this trade as well. Xavier's having a little look, but Wumax is defending so well, just planting that car in the middle of the road, so Xavier can do nothing about it. Wow. This battling is really, really ruining my chest, guys, so can we calm it down a little bit, if that's okay? We are in 100% race, and we've only just gone past half distance, so please be nice. This is my return. So, I'm a bit out of practice. But
Yeah, you picked one heck of a race to come back to, man.
I know, and it's one that's probably going to leave me exhausted after. But Kid's just got past Simba in the last sector, so that's a very weird place. But we've got so many battles going on here because they are all... The issue is Martin's ghost car is just... Obviously, I don't think Martin's in control of his car at this point because he is... I think he left it. I never saw it say he left the session. I don't know if you did.
I'm not sure.
But he is...
I'm not sure.
I mean, he's ghosted because he's a lap down, but he must have left the session, I'm sure. But Wimax on the defensive again. He goes really early, but here comes Xavier. He's having a look up the inside into 4. Is he going to have the grip? He's not. Wimax is still just about got the grip in those medium tyres to be able to defend against Xavier. So, but here comes Kid. He's now the man back on a mission, and it's him versus Chris Bailey again. How many times have I said that in this race?
How many times have we said it in MRC?
Well, yeah, that is also very, very true. I mean, throw Xavier in there as well, like second, third, fourth, Xavier, Chris, Kid. They're in the net lead as well. Wimax surely can't. He's already on 26 lap hold medium. Surely he can't go to the end. And if he is, his tyres are going to feel like
another pit stop in there somewhere.
Yeah, so, I mean, the net lead is the fight between Xavier, Chris, and Kid. And throw Simba in there as well. He's right on the back of them as well. I mean, you can throw anyone, you can throw literally anyone down to Boofy in the fight for the lead at the minute. So, oh, there's big contact with Boofy. Oh, Connor's just commentating, cursed him. Him and Kanicha have just come together in the straight. That was a big crash. Oh, wow. I went on board with Boofy and they just made contact on the run just before the pit exit. Entry, sorry, and that was a huge incident. I'll be very surprised if the stewards don't see that one later, but obviously the view there, it was just on board and all I've seen is wheel-to-wheel contact and Boofy's flown into the wall and obviously Kanicha has gone with him. But again, this neutralises the field. I think Wimax has been overtaken by Chris and Xavier. So Mark's coming back in, I'm guessing, for your new set of mediums, which is obviously...
it's the ones I did about 3 laps on.
Yeah, so get them on, you'll catch the field, and again, this is another opportunity now for you to come right back in this race. So it put you on the back of the field.
Of pitting a lap or two early, and I thought, you know what, keep these tyres, these really bad ones, on, and then, and then look, I mean, I could have done this a little bit later. Just a couple laps later, it would have been nice.
I think you can definitely go to the end on them though, without a doubt, because obviously earlier on we saw people do 32 laps, you've now got 30 left. So, and altogether that means those tyres would have done 35. So, you can definitely go to the end. Simba's in the pits, he's taking off those hards, he's got onto soft, so Simba's in for mediums now. Lorpy I would presume is probably in for mediums as well, he is. G-Star also, so... Those guys have also brought themselves back in the race. Wimax has pitted as well. So, this race is very, very poised at this point. We've got 30 laps to go. Every single driver will be going to the end, I would almost say. If Neil can do 40 laps on those sides. Neil is the current leader for the Challenger tier as well. Baldy in second. I mean, the top 3... Well, no, sorry, I'm third in the championship. Kanichwa and Kaiser Soda, the top 2 in the Challenger Championship, both out the race. This gives Baldy a massive incentive. Baldy can win this race, he then will become, I think, the championship leader for the Challenger tier. So, I mean, Kid Dynamite's 2 from 2 in MRC-X this season as well. He's on the pressure tyres out of Chris Bailey and Xavier as well. So, it's definitely going to be... I think this is Chris's first race of X this season as well. But how are you feeling now, Mark? Are you happier, at least?
You know, just with the way this game is, I'm kind of hoping that it'll allow me to catch the safety car, because we have seen it before where you have a straggler, in this instance me, and the safety car decides, you know what, I've had enough, I'm going, and the driver's half a lap behind or so, and it's demoralising when you don't get that chance to catch the pack. So
You're only 3 corners behind, but obviously this is such a short track.
yeah, so I'm hoping it'll go out for. I hope. I know there are people in MRC who aren't. I don't know. Have a problem with people who run it. Have you used that term? And some of the things as well, admins influence it. I'm not hoping I influence it, I'm just hoping the game behaves itself and I can catch to the back.
Hey, if you can influence the game like that, then you are talented.
I'll tell you what, I'll take the win now.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, if you could do that, I'll agree with everyone that says it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
I'll stop racing.
I'll be like, Mark, you need to go and sit on the naughty step and have a little think about what you've done. But
I know.
I mean, if you can influence that, then massive respect to you, because and make sure you start sharing your secrets as well, because I need some of it. But
hacker.com.
To be fair though, Mark, you've influenced you. You're practically on the back. What have you done?
I don't know if I'm going this lap.
Nah, you'll be fine even if it does. It should come in. I don't see, if it is, it's going to be incredibly late. It's in the final corner now, so no, I think we're going to have one more lap. We are, yeah, there's no chance of coming in. So the people this is costing though, the people on the hard tyres are the people that are not going to be happy now. So Saviour, Chris, Baldy as well. They're going to really struggle on this restart to get heat in their tyres. But have you seen enough liveries yet to come to a conclusion on your livery of the day, Mark?
No. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I haven't. When I have been with people, it's been some very intense close quarter racing, and I'm not going to lie to you, I've been looking at red arrows, I've been trying to look at...
No, I don't blame you at all.
Everything
I'll tell you
else,
what then, when you have a little re-watch of this in the future, you can announce it on the Discord, if that's alright.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah?
I'll have a quick look after the race finishes.
Yeah. My livery of the day is going to go to, while we're on the safety car, I've got to try and remember the people that were at the race now though. I really like Doris's. His was really nice. Carl's was the backward Williams thing. Kenichi was his black and gold. Boothie had a good one. I think we all agreed on that, didn't we?
Yeah, like, Boothie was a nice one. I did like Boothy's.
Do you know what though? My livery of the day is going to go to Wumax just because it's so perfect for the track that we're at.
Yeah, I could go with that. I could quite happily go with that.
He's got the Brazil
I was torn
colours.
between that, Martin's, and
I think
Boothy's,
didn't you? Yeah. I think Boothy and Martin get honourable mentions, and
yeah,
I'll probably throw Chris in there as well. I really like his as well. So
I always like a Senna tribute. I'm a sucker for a Senna tribute.
Yeah.
I ran a Senna helmet for a couple of seasons.
I mean, Red Car is already voting for anyone that does a Senna tribute. It doesn't matter who it is. Ryan will vote for anything Senna related, won't he? But safety car's in. Saviour has gone. Kid is all ready, but Kid is also under a bit of pressure from Colby the Brave, who's got up the inside, but he backed out sensibly because there was no point. Simba did pit, so he's actually lost the places to them guys. Oh, big twitch on the exit free, but here comes Chris Bailey. He's got the run on Saviour. He's having a look up the inside there. He's practically on the grass. He's touching the grass, but he's gone up the inside and he's made the move. What a move that is from Chris, but Saviour comes backing him into 4. Now there's side by side on the run down to 5. Chris is side by side. There's contact between the two. Wow, my voice is really not liking this. But, wow, Saviour is still in the lead after all that. Sorry for all the voice cracks you've just heard, guys.
Okay, you still got less than 30 laps, so you've got plenty of time.
Oh, mate. I'm seeing stars at this point. I really am. But we will continue. Kid Dynamite is now... Chris has lost a bit of time there. It's actually ended up costing him, and Kid's got the run out the final corner. How quickly is he going? He's using that ERS though. How much is Chris has used so much on the attack of Saviour, but Chris is also catching Saviour. This could be free wide into turn 1. No, not quite. Saviour's really struggling on the restart. Chris seems to have a lot more heat in his tyres than Saviour does. Oh, sorry guys, let's take a cough break. But Here comes Chris again. I don't think we're going to see Chris take the grass into turn 3 again because it made him go a bit deep. But he's taking the outside line, that is for sure. But he's not got the grip. He goes slightly off track, and now Kid's gone up the inside of Chris. And now he's through into turn 4. So what a move that is.
There's a battle back here. E17 with G-Star Loppy, and I'm trying to find a way through, and it's a bit narrow around here.
Floppy Loppy in his old Sauber livery. Mark's also on the back with these guys battling, so that's going to be one that's definitely interesting. This is a big old battle for the challenger guys. Obviously Neil is the current leader, but like I said to you, B17 could take the championship lead today if especially with the 2 guys at the top of the championship and myself not racing. So there's a big chance for him to take the lead in this as things stand. So we shall see. Wumax he's had a very quiet race. He's had moments where he's been right at the front, obviously. But he's under a bit of pressure from Simba, who's one of his tier 2 compatriots. So this will be a battle to watch and keep an eye on, without a shadow of a doubt. Kid Dynamite now, though, he is through on Chris Bailey, and now he's got off the road. He's taken out the 150 metre board. Kid's round. That was... I don't know what happened to Kid there. That was very strange. He's just taken out the 150 metre board. It looked like he had a twitch down a straight, is what it looked like. I caught the very end of it. But Call Me the Brave, the thing is, Chris has lost out in that. And now Call Me the Brave's into second. What a recovery that is from him. Obviously, Xavier started last, but Call Me the Brave is totally flying. And he's on the better tyres. Don't rule him out of this race win. But Neil's right there as well. He's in the challenger tier, and he's only a second behind Chris, so he's keeping Chris very, very honest right now. Wow, we've still got 25 laps of this to go, and my brain is all over the place with what's going to happen in this race. So, I mean, you're ahead of Kid now. Does that feel like a sentimental W?
Nope. It's worrying.
I mean, other than the fact that it is Kyle, you're making a move though. Lorpy is...
Yeah, I think he did see me. I kind of backed out. He saw me well though, so can't go on with that. G-Sam made the move on E17 though.
But you could... That's driving.
Yep.
But Lorpy is right there. He's having a little battle with you. So... Mandy said this is like a never-ending race. I mean, I'm just glad that there's excitement the whole way through, because the one thing you notice about 100% races is there's usually gaps that start to form, and then there's nothing to really talk about. But, I mean, I don't think there's been a point in this race where there's been no battles. So, for me, it's good. It's easy to commentate on, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and I think that's the track lends itself to that, because it is like you mentioned a few times, it is a short track. So it's... And the DRS is powerful, and it's you can follow, and I'm moving because I'm sick of following. I'm either following stuck behind somebody, or I'm on my own. There's no in between.
I mean, can I ask at the end of this race that I get a portrait of Lorpy's rear wing?
I'll just... Well, yeah.
I mean, you're probably like sick of the sight of it now, so I'm sorry for that. But
a little bit. There was a few people I was sick of in the early stages, and this one's now getting to that stage.
It happens though, doesn't it? That's the issue. But I mean, you're still in a good position though. Like, you're still with the pack. You're still in the train that's from Xavier downwards. So
I'll take that though. I will definitely take that one though.
You're still more than within the fight to potentially still win this race. And have you got a penalty? No, you haven't. And you've actually got past B17 and Lorpy, which I've missed.
Yeah,
oh, B17's round at turn 6. Oh, that's such a shame. The Konica strikes again.
Yeah, they went wide at turn 4, and I went up the inside. Nearly got cut off a little bit, but no harm done. Managed to make it stick.
Yeah, so, well, that's opportunistic and it's paid off. Next up for you is G-Star. But let's see. So that gap at the front, Call Me the Brave, is really closing now on Xavier, but Chris is kept with him very well. But shout out to Neil, the challenger tier guy. He's sat there and he's battling with the guys at the top of the... I mean, we've seen Neil in the past. He was formerly elite tier, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I think he was formerly tier 1 at one point, I think.
He was, but I believe...
wrong.
You know he was, but I believe he had problems with racing at that time. So since then he's made the transition to tier 3 because he's also struggling with the assists that tier 3 and tier 2 run on the new game.
Yeah.
So, but today he's really flying, isn't he? Like he's taking it to the top guys, and 2, he's currently in the lead for the challenger tier. So this is going to put him right back in the mix for the title race at least. So.
And I think that's another thing about this track is it can be a very, very good leveler, because it is technical, as we say, and it can be quite tight, but it's a good fun track. And like I mentioned at the top of the stream, that people do enjoy it. It's one a lot of people go straight onto and have a bit of fun with. So it's one that people tend to know quite well, and that's why I think it is a very good leveler, and that's why we're seeing it.
Yeah, there was contact with Chris and Corey the Brave into turn 1. Sorry to interrupt you. But no, I agree with you 100% with what you're saying. But here goes Chris again. He's closing, but the issue is for him, Corey the Brave has the DRS. I think you said in tier 2 this week, Corey the Brave had very good straight line speed. So I think we're seeing that in full action now.
Yeah, he did, definitely.
Yeah. He is, and I think Chris is. It must be frustrating. I mean, trust me. I remember, Miami last season when a certain Scotsman decided to run 0-1 wings, and I was stuck behind him for what felt like ever. It was the worst, genuinely the worst experience of my life. It honestly was, and I mean, with what's been going on recently, there's been a lot of them. So. To say Gab created that, I'm sorry Gab, you're not actually a bad person, I made you sound terrible there, but it is what it is. But Corey the Brave still in that DRS of Saviour as things stand. Corey the Brave showing good pace, but again he's on those mediums. They're probably going to go off more towards the end than the hard wheels. So, and I mean we've seen in several races this week those hard tyres do come into their own, but further the race goes on. They take a little while to heat up though, that's the other big issue with them. Like, when they're first put on, they are pretty slow. It has to be said,
after about 3 laps they start to come into their own a little bit.
Yeah, Corey the Brave just totally cut turn 5 and got a 3-second penalty, so that's going to really cost him. No, I know, I remember seeing you, start of this race is a good example as well. Like, you couldn't keep really with the guys ahead at the start of the stint, could you, on the hard tyres, and then after a few laps you started to catch back up to the guys on the mediums. It's almost like, I don't think the delta's that big.
Chris's round. Chris.
Yeah, I've just seen Chris's round. Like, what was... Chris's...
It was at the bottom of the hill, I saw it. Somebody helped. They didn't help in terms of the spin, they helped because they couldn't move out the way in time. I don't know who that might be.
Neil. It must have been Neil. He was right behind Chris at the time. So
I hope he hasn't got damage. For Neil's sake, I hope he has not got damage, because he is running an absolutely incredible race.
He hasn't got any visible damage, let's put it that way.
I hope for his sake then. I really do.
I'm being told off in YouTube chat by Boofy. I went on board with him and then he DNF'd immediately, and he's just gone, why, Connor, there's no need.
At least you know you haven't lost it.
I mean, did he ever watch that tier 4? I don't know if you watched it, where all I had to do was go to someone and they crashed. Like,
yes.
I don't know if you ever watched it, but honestly, me and Simon were in absolute hysterics because, I mean, I did
watch that one. That was a funny. It was heartbreaking for the drivers, of course. No one wants to see anybody deaf, but at the same point, it was quite funny.
I remember the message I got from Scott after. I was like, well, this is me in the doghouse for a little while in this league. But, it is what it is. But, I mean, I'm really not sorry for everything that happened that night. And Boofy, don't race when I'm on comms. That would be my advice, basically, because no one's safe.
What tier is Boothie in? I'll have to make some changes to the commentary.
He's in tier 3, the same tier as me, so he's safe in tier 3.
So alright then.
Yeah. But Wumax is having a right ding-dong with G-Star for P5 at the minute. Oh, he's made contact with his rear shot. That's damage for Wumax. Not quite, but Mark is also sniffing that chuff. I don't know why I said that, but he is.
Well, it's about time you had some chuff action back. We've missed the the OG chuff.
I mean, I'm quite surprised that it's still alive. I've heard it used in quite a lot of streams by not even myself. So.
Oh no, we got to run with it.
Yeah,
I've actually. Good thing, run it.
I mean, I've actually heard a lot of people use it, which was like, I've actually created something here. I've got a legacy at least. Chuff. But Simba is now having a little look at Neil. Neil seems to be okay. He doesn't have any damage visibly. And like I said, I hope he doesn't have damage, because if he's been caught up in the Chris spin, that's very, very unfortunate. But he's still only 1.1 behind Call Me the Brave at the minute, so he's still in with a chance. I mean, there's only one other challenger tier guy left in this race other than Neil, and that is Baldy. So that means, so let's have a little look at the penalties. Kid Dynamite's got 8 seconds. This is really going to tighten that championship back up. But I think I'm starting to get a bit sus of Chris Mark, because twice he's spun, and both times when he's spun, it's because he's then come out next to Kid Dynamite.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, Neil looks like he's AI on my screen. I hope he's not. I hope he's back in.
He's not on the stream. On stream, he
is.
is.
And there's a bit of
there's contact between him and Simba.
Yeah, and unfortunately that has cost him. It's not cost him luckily in terms of overall, because of the places, the way they're working.
Yeah, I don't know what's gone on. Maybe he's got internet connection. If he has, that is such a shame. Like, a real shame. He's absolutely driven out of his skin. Simba's having a right ding dong. Look at this train behind him. It's Simba, G-Star, Wumax, Mark, and now Kid Dynamite in on the action. But Simba's on the defensive. Here goes Wumax. Here goes G-Star. G-Star's through on Simba. Simba goes defensive on the inside. But Wumax is now coming back at Simba into turn 5 on the run down. Is this move going to be done? Wumax breaks early. Oh, he's round. Wumax is round, and Mark's just about avoiding him. But big twitch for Kid Dynamite as well. Oh my goodness.
I think we all just absolutely heart in mouths. That's so unlucky for Wumax, because he was challenging. There was no contact from what I could see.
No, on stream it looked like it was just he lost it on his own. That's
yeah, unfortunately, that's really good for him. He's so fast. He was really annoying me.
Yeah, no, he's been right there or thereabouts with the leaders on pace this entire race.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't all worked out for him, and that's just so unfortunate. But Neil's just lost the lead of the challenger tier as well. How gut-wrenching is that for him?
Look at what I've got behind me.
Oh, you've got 2 people that you've been quite fond of today as well, haven't you? But
yeah, 2 people I have a lot of time and a lot of love and a lot of respect for, but I do not want to see them in my rearview mirror.
No, I think out of all the sites in the world, that is probably one of the most terrifying of the lot. So
yeah, if Saviour joined them as well, that would just be like, yeah, just move over.
Do you want me to go on board with Saviour so we can spin and join you?
He's one of the nicest guys in the league.
No, I couldn't do it to him.
I don't think you would appreciate that.
I couldn't do it to him. I love Saviour too much. I mean, I love everyone too much, but Saviour is, like you said, I don't think Saviour has a bad bone in his body, does he, to be honest? So,
no.
I mean, some of the messages I get after every race when I spin, he tells me off and then he goes, "I'm proud of you, though." So, it's like, well, at least I'm getting constructive
it's like that good news sandwich they use in leadership and management. It's like bit of bad news, bit of good news, or bit of bad, bit of good, bit of bad, or bit of good, bit of bad, bit of good, and then that's that. Yeah.
Mandy's just said Connor 15 and 15, not racing but still causing DNF. Wow. Well, I'm on a quali band for my return race. That's just absolutely splendid, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah.
So well, there goes any chance of me winning in Abu Dhabi. But Mandy, that's just
lost to first. It's fine.
Can you retract? Oh, do you remember my Japan race last season? that was fun. But Mandy, that's just harsh. You didn't need to write that in YouTube chat. Ryan says 8 DNFs GG. Yeah, there's been a lot, but you got to think, like, the fact that quite often we get this many finishes in a 50% race, the fact that people have lasted 57 laps is actually a reasonable achievement. So, and I think, how many safety cars have we had? 4, I think it is.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, and to be honest, I think, from my point of view of watching this, and I think you've just witnessed an incredible battle, there's been some absolutely brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing. Yeah,
there has, definitely.
Obviously there's been some that's a bit suspect, but you're always going to get that. But I think in general we've seen some absolutely insane battles. But what was you going to say, Mark?
No, just exactly that. Yeah, there has been some fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing, and the bit that I'm currently in the middle of, it's scary. I can not say the least. G-Star Rapid had a lot of fights with him in MRC-X last season, and also when I was in Tier 1. And then Dynamite, yeah, he just needs no introduction, that man. But barely. Simba done well to get past G-Star. Ooh, heck. I don't know the gap to the guy at the top 2, but I've just seen them, so this is the last. I don't even know how many laps are left. I'm not even going to count. 13.
Right,
it's
Mark,
going to be fun.
I need to announce Konnichiwa as like MRC's new cheerleader because he's just put 12 watching, 2 likes. Smash that like button. Yes, smash
awesome.
that like button.
That's what we need. Awesome job, Connie.
I want to see those likes going up because we brought you a 100% race. We brought you constant action in a 100% race. Okay, ignore the commentary. It's probably not the best by myself, but the rest of it will be good. But Mark's side by side. Look at this. Here goes Kid Dynamite. That is Mark's worst nightmare. You heard the scream on stream.
Well, to be fair, he got a heck of a run through 2 and 3. Saw him there. I had DRS and G-Star and I was kind of boxed. Let's just put it that way. I couldn't do anything, and just that was just going to happen. So let it happen. Let the man do what he needs to do. And like you said, that's what I mentioned earlier about you use the term ruthless. I would say clinical is that's the word I was looking for earlier, and that was exactly what that was. Really, he landed up from the lap before, actually. Like, to be honest with you, I managed to hold him off.
One thing I've noticed about Kid is and it's kind of different to a lot of other people you see in the league, is he really does study. Like he'll sit behind you for a lap or 2, but he'll be studying every little move you make, every single one, and then he'll know what you're going to do the next lap, probably before you know what you're going to do on the next lap, and then by that time it's too late for you to do anything about it. So
and he'll know what line you take
without you even knowing. But
yeah.
Who's that that's just gone wide on the exit of 3? I don't know who that was, but I think it might have been Chris. But Richard Bailey says Chris is the Joe Frazier of MRC. He keeps getting up. Yeah, you're not wrong. Chris has had a lot of knockbacks in this race, and he's still there. He's fighting. I mean, obviously Mark and Chris, we all know, very, very good friends off the track as well as on the track, and they love fighting each other. So it's a battle that's going to commence. Mark is on the better tyres than Chris, so Chris is definitely going to struggle. How have we gone up 20? Don't tell me this is one of those dodgy comments that we get in the YouTube chat all the time. But we've just doubled in comments apparently in about the space of about 13 seconds. So
possibly, sounds like it.
Do you want to buy? No, go away. But
you can block it.
Yeah, I will do. I think I've deleted it now anyway, so it's fine. But Call Me the Brave and Saviour is still the battle for the lead. Obviously, Call Me the Brave still got the penalty, so has Kid Dynamite. So if things stay the way they're going, if Simba stays roughly where he is, Simba could be making a return to MRC-X and finishing second. I think this is his first race of the season. But can I just say, Simba is right on the rear still of Kid Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite got past on the start-finish straight.
Oh, okay.
So he's on a charge.
I missed that. He is on a charge. I think he needs to be on a charge because of the penalty. But the issue for him is next up is Call Me the Brave, who is in the DRS of Saviour. So it's just Saviour's on those hard tyres, and those hard tyres are starting to work beautifully now for Saviour. They are He's pulled it. He's actually pulled out of the DRS now. I've come with the Brave, and Kid Dynamite is in that DRS. He is absolutely flying. So this. Oh, but Saviour's had a massive moment at the final corner. It's going to leave him under pressure from Call Me the Brave. But I don't think Call Me the Brave's going to be quite close enough to launch a move into turn 1. He's not, but he'll surely be lining him up on the run down to turn 4. All goes by his X out of 2. That line through 2 is what determines everything down this next straight. But I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. And Kid has also dropped off a little bit there. I think he's had a bit of a moment somewhere. Mark is right on the rear end now of G-Star as well, but he's also being looked at in every angle by Chris Bailey. And we know Chris Bailey loves looking at people's rears, no matter who it is. So I had to get one comment in.
Yeah,
but, I mean, I didn't say anything too inappropriate, did I? But
nothing that wasn't true.
Nothing that, nothing that I'm gonna get in trouble about lying for. So anyway, G-Star is. The thing is for you, I mean, I bet this is kind of frustrating for you now because you're in a bit of a train behind Simba at this point, so it's a bit frustrating, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's one of those that... Oh, second warning. Oops. It depends. I think this is now going to come down to who's got the better tyre life towards the end. That's what it's going to really boil down to, I think.
Yeah, I agree. The issue for you is the two in front of you have got 4 lap younger tyres than you at the minute as well. But here comes Kid Dynamite. He's squaring up Call Me the Brave. His X out of turn 3 is totally sublime. He's never going to look round the outside of Call Me the Brave, and he is through. Next up for Kid Dynamite is Saviour. It's the 2 men that started 19th and 20th that lead this race. I mean, who would have ever thought that that was possible with those 2? Oh wait,
yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there was a scripted MRC, I think we'd have both written it pretty well at the start of this race. To be honest.
Yeah, you could see something happening from that, and then just, to be fair, the way that they came through in the early stages has just set them up for this finale now that we've got.
Well, I mean, Saviour's still in a driving seat at the minute. He's got no penalties. He is so. Kid needs to get past him and really create a gap, but Saviour's in that little period now where his hard tyres are going to be working absolutely beautifully. But Kid has closed that gap down massively. How defensive will Saviour be on the run down to turn 4? He seems to have had a bit of a battle, but you know, earlier you talked about that Kid Dynamite X out of turn 3. It really is something, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he just gets it absolutely hooked up.
I mean, bearing in mind,
on
the last lap as well, Call Me the Brave had the DRS on the run down to turn 4, but Kid's exit of that corner meant he was through while Call Me the Brave had DRS before the braking zone even came about. So that's definitely impressive from him. Okay, well, I'm deleting that out of the YouTube chat because we don't need any promo from dodgy things, thank you. But anyway, Kid Dynamite 7/10 behind Saviour. Simba also now closing that gap to Call Me the Brave. He's on 9 lap younger tyres than Call Me the Brave, so that gap's starting to come down. The train now is brought Call Me the Brave back into this a little bit. He's being dragged back. Obviously, he's the man. He's one of the men that have made a real comeback drive after his early hurrahs. So, but here goes Simba. Call Me the Brave goes defensive super duper early, but I don't think Simba's going to be close enough to launch one on this lap. Mark, there might be an opening because G-Star seems to be falling a bit off the back of Simba here.
Yeah, he did on the last bit. I think he's caught back up there. He didn't have DRS through between 3 and 4, but it's for me
named after a corner. Like that must. I
wish it was for a good reason.
The thing is, I remember being on comms for that race, and every time I went to you and said, I'm not saying the Connor curse had anything to do with it, but it did. So. And I will apologise for that one. But here goes Simba. He's having a look on Call Me the Brave. Round the outside of turn 1. That's not the best line to take. Although it does give you the inside. But I mean, Oh, who was that? Was that Chris who's just had a big moment into? I think
yeah,
it
I got
was.
through G-Star and I saw Chris having a good go and then suddenly he came through.
Yeah, but now G-Star and Chris are side by side. Chris still looking. Oh, Chris has gone really wide. And G-Star keeps the position. So this is 5 laps to go. And I still couldn't tell you who's going to win this race, if I'm being completely honest. I think overall Saviour's now got to be the favourite, because if Kid gets past him, is he going to be able to pull 3 seconds in? Well, no, he's got 8 seconds, I've realised. So actually, as things stand, Kid will drop to about 8th place, which means Comedy Road will be second. Simba will be a net P3. Mark is now in the DRS of Simba as well, so he's joining the back of this battle between the two of them, but he's just dropped over a second as well. But Simba is having that look again at Comedy Brave. He's going right for the outside line, because Comedy Brave goes very defensive on the inside. Simba, is he going to be able to make it move and stick right the outside? He's not, and his exit. Comedy Brave gets a much better exit, but Simba's actually got a really good run out of 3. Comedy Brave goes defensive really, really early. So Simba's going to go for the outside, but he's got... Oh, there's a... Oh, there's... Looked like there was a bit of a late movement there into turn 4. But he might just get away with it. He somehow avoided contact. I thought there was a bit of a late movement between one or the other there, but it just... It all seemed to calm down, so... but there's a lot that can still happen with the rest of this race, that is for sure. Kid is really going to need to make a move quite quickly on Saviour here. The thing is, he's still got a lot of battery, but then Saviour just leading this race. He's got 80% of his battery there for defence. But
that's scary.
Yeah, and Kid's got 60, but here comes Kid. He's going to have a look. He's gone for the outside line. Let's have a look at Saviour. He's taken the lead, but Saviour's held it. These two are side by side. Kid is also through, but Saviour's exit out of turn 2 is utterly unbelievable. And he's made the move, and he's kept it, but now Saviour goes defensive to the inside on the run down to 4. And guess who gets TRS? It's Saviour, because he was behind on the detection. Wow. That was insane. Simba still stuck behind Call Me the Brave. Call Me the Brave seems to have some electric straight line speed at the minute, which is just keeping them both behind. But G-Star, everyone. Oh, Kid's taking the lead. Saviour had a moment. I think Saviour has had a moment, because Kid's through. He's about 7 tenths clear. Who's that round? I think it's Martin. Did Martin get back racing?
Oh, virtual safety car.
Yeah, Martin did get back racing, because he's not ghosted, but he's lost his front wing. So that's brought out a virtual, which is not really going to do much for anyone, to be completely honest, is it? But, I mean, no one's going to pit. It's simply just too late. There's, what, 4 laps to go? 3 laps to go. So... this is just neutralising anyone that was struggling on fuel, which they shouldn't have been. There's been God knows how many safety cars. But we've seen some spectacle. For a 100% race, I thought, oh, it's going to be a struggle today, you know.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a fantastic... it's been absolutely brilliant.
There's been real constant action, and... it's been free. It's good to see as well, like MRC-X has really delivered today as well. So it's great to see across the field.
Yeah.
But is Kid going to be able to get that 3 seconds? I don't think he is. Like, Saviour's been, even though Kid was in his DRS, Saviour hasn't drastically, you know, struggled. He made one mistake, which I think helped Kid pass. Obviously, I missed the overtakes. They were driving through the middle sector, so I wasn't really focusing on the battle too much, because you can't usually overtake too much in that middle sector. But Simba, I think Simba Call Me the Brave is going to be the battle to watch at the minute. But Call Me the Brave just seems to get such a good exit out of that final corner. And it just leaves Simba there napping every time. I don't know where Call Me the Brave just got DRS from. Oh, that wasn't Call Me the Brave. Ignore me. He didn't. I thought Call Me the Brave was Simba for a second, and yeah. But we will see. Simba's run Simba's got an insane run there. He's really caught on the back of Corey the Brave again. Is he going to be able to make the move again? He's looking at the outside. Simba's really committed to it this time, but he's not. He's backed out in the last second, but I thought he was going to try and stick that running outside then. I bet your eyes kind of lit up to that, like thinking, oh, come on, there's going to be a place for me here, potentially.
Yeah,
but, yeah, no, that was...
I was actually hoping, thinking that Xavier and Dynamite wouldn't get 8 seconds ahead, so I could have a place off Dynamite, but they have absolutely scampered away now.
You're still just about in kids' range, I believe, are you not?
Yeah, that'll change.
I mean, it depends how much they battle, because Kid's used a lot of his ERS as well. Here comes Xavier actually as we speak. Oh, there's a moment. I think it's for G. No, Lorpy's just got past G-Star. But Xavier's just set the fastest lap of the race on 38 lap old hard tyres. Oh my god. I don't know what to say about that. That is just insane. So, yeah, there's not really much else to add to that, is there? But Simba is through on Call Me the Brave, which I missed. But Mark side by side with Chris Bailey, heading down the run down to turn 5. He's committed. Oh, they're so close, but they're 3 wide into turn 5, now turn 6, and Mark's gained 2 positions into 1. He's now practically pushing. Call Me the Brave's lost everything in one corner. That's such a shame for him. But, oh, I don't know if Chris has to give that place back a little bit to Call Me the Brave there, because he was off track. So I'm wondering if Chris
I just went sideways to it. That was my worst heart in the mouth moment.
That was incredible driving, though. 3 wide through turn 5, where there's barely enough room for 1 car. But Kid Dynamite's going to take the win on track, but Xavier will take it overall. He's taking it. Xavier back in MRC-X and back winning. Simba's going to return with a podium.
Well done, Simba.
He's taken 2nd as well as Simba. Kid does finish.
Less than 2 tenths.
Oh, that's so close. Chris does come in with P5. Norpy P6. Call Me the Brave P7. G-Star in P8. Wumax P9. Neil does take the Challenger tier win. Fair play to him. Baldy comes home in P11, and Martin will score 4 points for his position. Who else was elite tier? So Cole didn't finish from the elite tier. Oh, Cole was the only elite tier non-finisher, I believe. So, yeah, so Martin will still score 1 point for that race. But it just shows even a lap down, Martin kept going, which is great to see. Which is what we encourage everyone to do. So, but this battle for the Challenger tier lead is literally the 10th and 11th cars, and they are coming across the line now. Neil will win it, dependent on if he has more penalties than Baldy, which I think he did. So I think Baldy's actually just taken the win off him across the line. He has. So Baldy's just taken the Challenger tier win. But that was definitely a spectacle. That was a lot of fun to commentate on. So we will go through the grid very, very quickly. Come on, load. Kid, if I see some stupid dancing here, I'm taking that one away from you. Oh, it wasn't Kid who won. It was Xavier. Silly me. Can you tell that I've just been for a 100% race? Anyway, the winner, Xavier, takes the win. Simba takes 2nd. Did I say Simba twice? Oh well. Kid Dynamite 3rd. Mark comes home in P4. Chris P5. That scintillating battle on the last lap between the 4 of them was just unbelievable. Law P6. Call Me the Brave P7. G-Star P8. Wumax P9. Baldy takes the Challenger tier win in P10. Neil takes 2nd, and Single Track is the final finisher of the race. DNF's going to Konnichiwa, Boothie, Kaiser Soze, Geke Matthew, Dora the Explorer, Scottish Ninja Danny, and Bit W. They will all score a point each in the championship. But thank you, Mark, for being my right hand man in this race effectively, because I've done it all by myself, like as far as watching the race is concerned. Obviously you driving and commentating is never an easy thing to do.
No, I don't know how I didn't hit a wall or get a penalty or anything like that. I had 2 warnings. One was very stupid, but of me. But no, I'm happy with that, and gutted I ran out of VRS to catch Simba to the line. To be honest, but that was Just incredible.
Yeah,
That was
it was.
absolutely insane.
For
What a race
100%
that
race,
was. Yeah.
I'm proud of everyone in MRC for the way they've turned up today, and it makes you realise that it's worth it trying these different races, you know, because it's a trial and error thing, and it's something that clearly works if you do it at the right track. So, but a little thank you from me to everyone for the messages recently. It has been tough. Thank you, Mark, as well, for all your help that you've given me, like running X and things like this. It does mean an awful lot.
You're welcome.
I will be back. I won't be back next. It depends if I'm comms or racing, but you might not hear my voice next week. But you will see me on track for the first time in a while. But don't forget, guys, MRC Tier 2 back Monday, 7 o'clock. Tier 1, 8:45, and the same goes for 3 and 4 on Wednesday. Comms teams are finalised, but I honestly can't remember them. So you will see them on the posts come for next week. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share with every single person on this planet that you know, because we want as many viewers as we can possibly get to tune into this great league. But thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next week. Goodbye.